So really quickly here, because like I am in between work today, I wanted to come on live and I kind of wanted to be on all platforms. I know I had several issues on yesterday with this whole YouTube live thing and linking it to the additional platforms that I am a part of. But it seems to be working today. If we do have any technical difficulties or cut out, please be on the lookout for the second link because I will log back in really quickly so that you guys can get the depth of the discussion. So I was having a discussion with a colleague today, right? I'm always talking. Consulting is a huge benefit to being a psychotherapist. It gives us these aha moments. Like we don't know what people need, right? Until people tell us. So here's the thing: a psychotherapist, your therapist, your counselor, your life coach, whatever it is that you are using, whatever type of professional you're using. As a segue to your mental health and wellness or healing or transformative um, growth in your life, right? Excuse me. Those people are there to be experts in the process, but not necessarily the expert in your life because we're not psychics, okay? So for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, please understand I'm doclqj, and this is my platform for elevation, education, insight, and that's what I do. I am a psychotherapist. I absolutely love sharing a wealth of information, and I'm a lifelong learner, and this is kind of my thing. All right. So, to jump into the topic, which is going to be stress and cortisol. Okay. So, I want you guys to first understand that every single person goes through issues in their life. Every single person will go through issues in their life. That now, this is something that happened maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe it happened last week. Today might be a very well balanced day, but tomorrow may be a completely different type of day. And it's important that we all house the basic tools in order for us to maintain equilibrium in our life or to adequately gauge and manage distress. So I talked about stress and the nature of stress in our lives, and I talked about stress being good or bad. The thing is, a lot of people are now suffering from chronic pain, and they think it's something wrong with their bodies. They're testing all these theories, and they're going back and forth to the doctor trying to figure out what is going on. The first thing that I want to say is that it's really important to advise your PCP if you're having, excruciating pain, or if you suffer from chronic pain or everyday pain in a particular part of your body. And it's always good. There are tests that can be done, labs can be drawn to actually test your cortisol levels in your blood or urine. And what cortisol is a steroid like hormone that is released by your brain's adrenal glands, right? Your body's adrenal glands. And those particular cortisol can have a tremendous amount of effects on your health and wellness. One of the things that can affect the increased amount of cortisol in your body is, of course, going to be stress, right? And some people have a couple of different types of diseases that they suffer from, and sometimes they don't produce enough cortisol. But cortisol is responsible for breaking down the fats in your body, and that's typically what people know it for: the breaking down the fats and the carbs, and um, helping your body process, what's received inside of it. It's really good at regulating and functioning your digestive system. That's what its main function is. But the huge thing here in understanding chronic pain and illness is that your immune system is directly affected by your cortisol levels in your body. And what I really need you to understand is that when you are stressed out and you're producing an abundance of this hormone, you have to find ways to get back to yourself. So The number one way to know is that you start to experience some of the symptoms of depression, a lack of desire to do things that you typically like doing, sometimes fatigue, and excessive agitation, anger. You just kind of go off the deep end, and it's a small thing that you would have considered to be small previously. So when you notice that this is happening to you, you need to start putting some things into play that will help you, I don't know, return to a more normal level of functioning, because you will have an influx of symptoms. Sometimes people experience diarrhea, upset stomach, dry mouth, panic attacks, because the panic is associated with the stress. You see people that go through the rapid heart rate because that's also associated with the stress. And it's called a panic attack or anxiety attack. For some of us, we become more anxious and we don't know what to do with all that excess energy. And those hormone levels are now imbalanced. So you can go through chronic pain in the body in different parts of your body. Hematomas are caused by cortisol levels being elevated as well. So I think it's really important to know what is going on with your body's system and what could possibly be the root cause of all of this. This stress management is the number one skill that most people lack. Nobody teaches you how to deal with your stress, whether it be healthy stress or unhealthy stress. Nobody will teach that to you. And you have to understand that it's essential for healthy everyday functioning. So some of the things that you can do to help naturally balance your cortisol levels, there are a girth of resources. I think it's on Healthline or WebMD, as far as like some of the natural supplements that you can take. But some of the basic things you can do: deep breathing techniques. You can also do muscle relaxation techniques. You can also do meditation. Meditation helps. When it comes to pain, understand where the pain is coming from, what is making this pain worse, what makes it less invasive on our body, and where is it really housed and stored, and how do we experience that? Ask yourself sometimes, like, what am I going through in my life? Is something I'm going through in my life a buffer, or is it something that exacerbates the amount of pain that I have in my life right now in this part of my body? Lower back pain, stomach, gut pain, abdominal wall pain, leg pain, nerve pain. All of these things are kind of tied into stress hormones. So that's when you want to kind of question what else is going on here. Is it stress related? Did I get a promotion? Did I lose, an emotional tie or attachment, an essential attachment in my life? Or have things changed so much that it kind of knocked me off kilter? Ask yourself those questions. One of the main things that I like to see people doing is exercising more. So being more active. Sometimes you got to force yourself to be more active. Get the proper amount of sleep, because the thing is, your cortisol levels, they reduce your body's or your brain's ability to produce enough dopamine and norepinephrine, those serotonin levels. Everything is very low when it makes the feel good hormones. And so it starts to affect everything. Your immune system becomes suppressed by having an abundance of cortisol in your body. And so you get infections. You're more prone to infections. And you may find lots of ways to rationalize and say, hey, I got this infection because of this, or I got this infection because of that. And the truth of the matter is, you're getting that infection because you are not taking care of handling the distress that's happening in your life on a day to day. You're not taking care of the stress. So once you guys become more in tune with what's going on in your body, you will learn how to better gauge life, gauge illness, gauge wellness, and what that really looks like for you. Understand what's going on in your body. Ask your primary care provider, your medical doctor that you see on a day-to-day, to run a cortisol level test when you are having chronic pain, just as kind of like a default thing. I want to make sure that this isn't stress related. Start doing that, because at the end of the day, you may need a psychotherapist more so than you need the medication. And that's kind of what helps you get to the root of the problem. So that is what I wanted to talk about, kind of like how the two are linked, and then giving you guys some really good tips for decreasing the amounts of cortisol or the amounts of stress in your life. Like I just told you, it's really good to get the proper amount of sleep, even if you have to just incorporate naps in your day to day. Once we kind of reach the age 30, 35, your body will actually pull on you to be getting more uninterrupted sleep. Okay. But also to take frequent breaks throughout the day so that you can live your best life and you can be the best version of yourself that you can be on a day to day. So those are things that I wanted to discuss. I've given you guys some healthy tips as to how to improve the conditioning of your life. Also, when it comes to stress and conflict resolution, stop going around avoiding dealing with that stuff. And instead of doing that, put a pin in it and then actually get a chance to come back to it. Set an appointment to come back to and resolve the issues that made you really, really heated during their presentation, right? You can always come back to it with a different perspective. Learn how to sit with various perspectives outside of your own and improve your overall understanding. Seek to understand. Listen to people to understand what it is that they have to offer. Understand what it is that's in your life. And speak energy that's positive into your life and into the lives of others. Okay? Get rid of some of that negative energy. So if you guys want more tips, you know where to find me. doclqj@gmail.com. And it's been real. Later days, folks.